In the final days of World War II, as the Allied forces closed in on all fronts, a desperate plan unfolded deep within Hitler's bunker beneath Berlin. The city trembled under constant bombardment. Soviet tanks rumbled ever closer, while the once mighty Wehrmacht was reduced to scattered, exhausted remnants. On April 16, 1945, the Soviet Union launched its final massive assault on the German capital. Hitler, refusing to accept defeat, clung to a fragile hope, an offensive by General FELIX Steiner. General Steiner commanded the 3rd SS Panzer Corps, positioned to the north of Berlin. On April 20th, Hitler's 56th birthday, he ordered Steiner to launch a sudden counterattack against the advancing Soviet First Belarusian Front. The objective was bold: punch through the enemy lines, relieve the embattled 9th Army to the south, and stabilize the crumbling Eastern Front. In his mind, this maneuver would turn the tide of the war. But in reality, Steiner's forces were a shadow of their former strength. The men were scattered, the tanks few, and ammunition was scarce. When Steiner received the order, he was stunned. The offensive was militarily impossible. He relayed this to his superiors, refusing to send his depleted troops into a suicide mission. Hitler, isolated from the reality above ground, refused to accept the truth. On April 22, 1945, in a dimly lit concrete room of the Führer bunker, Hitler exploded in fury upon learning that Steiner had not attacked. His generals watched in silence as their leader raged, accusing everyone of betrayal. That tirade, later immortalized in the film Downfall, was not just a moment of rage. It was the breaking point of a dictator's illusion. Some historians suggest that Heinrich Himmler may have secretly advised Steiner not to obey, hoping to preserve forces for negotiations with the Allies. But whether due to military impossibility or political maneuvering, the Steiner offensive never happened. It existed only in Hitler's mind, a last gamble in a lost war. Days later, Berlin was encircled. The Soviets closed in, street by street. On April 30th, Hitler took his own life. The war in Europe ended soon after. The story of the failed Steiner attack remains a chilling reminder of how denial and delusion hastened the fall of the Third Reich.